So I was working in a trading company, and I was very much stressed because I moved to the capital of Poland to do that, and I had no friends, no security, no the things I know are important right now, but I didn't have it back then. I was 25 or 6 or 27, like around 26, and the pain started really fast in stressful environment with the trading and doing operations and having all the course in the meantime. And it just started to hurt in my back, like some tension. And then, but it was like a point, like a neurological point, like you stick like a little nail, like needle, in your back. So it was like one point, and then that point was more like often, and I was getting up and stretching during the work and everything to release it. I couldn't. One time at around 10:30 at work, that we started at 7 a.m. usually, 7 a.m. we started to work. At 10:30 I had to leave work because I had so much pain, and I hardly got to my home. The pain was so big that I hardly walk anymore. Well, I could walk physically, but the pain was so much that with every step it was just so like a neurological pain. And then I stayed like few days in the bed with this pain, and I was reading on the internet what could possibly happen to me. It wasn't good news that all the the discs are coming out with a liquid or something like this, and I learned all this that just violate me with more fear. So psychologically I just got more bad emotion and more stress with the trauma that already was there. So it's like you had accident with your trauma or life, and then somebody comes and just hits you in the face again with a stick, and now you have a scar. So you get like double trauma when you read this kind of shit when you get sick. So people don't read it, especially you have no idea about the doctor's medicine, or worse, the psychological stuff that happens to you, because the medicine you can learn even from internet these days. Even the doctor says like, yeah, because you read it on the internet, but this is this knowledge, only very dry, so you cannot wrap it up. And well, anyway, it was getting better and worse through the weeks, but generally I was having still fear what happened in my backpack, so it was generally going worse. So I had the attacks of this is going worse. And one of these attacks I just finished up completely in the bed for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. I didn't walk, and there was a doctor coming to home even because I couldn't go anywhere, or going to the car was just terrible because I had to hold like this, and it was really painful, and I couldn't sit on the bed in the doctor's office and wait for it. And then the doctor was like one of the best neurological doctors around Europe, probably in the world, that lives in Szczecin in Poland. Was like at some point, look, your third time here, I cannot give you shots all the time, and we should think about operation, because look at yourself, you cannot even sit at the bed, because I was like this and I was shaking because of the pain. So it wasn't because of the muscles, it was because of the pain. And what happened to me psychologically, the tensions of the muscles go like this, it squeeze your fucking ass, you squeeze everything in you. It could squeeze your part of your bladder, it could squeeze your knee, it could squeeze your back or your head, that you have a lots of migraine, like you had a tumor, and it's just causing neurological pain. So then the doctors are looking in the röntgens and resonance, oh, it's there, no, it's there, no, it's here, a mistake, so it has to be thing, and we need to operate it. It's all crap. So I told them what I think about it, that there's gonna be no operation. I have a lifetime to fix it. Even if I have to go in a wheelchair, I will get to my point where I'm gonna fix it without putting the metal thing in there. And back then, it was like after 6 weeks in the bed, I was walking like a grandpa, like this. I couldn't go to the store, I couldn't go to the stairs. So it was a mistake. So then my rehabilitation started to work, but still they were giving me shots to the back that I have no pain and that I can walk or do anything. But then I started to live, and I started to get help. My father sent me to a chiropractor for 2 weeks training with the psychological effects of this. and how does it work in the body. And this old man that was having 30 years of experience with thousands of people around the world told me, listen, there's nothing in the Röntgen. They all lied to you. There's nothing. There's these issues you see in the Röntgen, they're so minor that most of the people have it and they don't even know for the whole life. So there's nothing. And of course I didn't believe them because I didn't believe him because I was in my system of trauma yet. So I hear what he was saying, but I couldn't get over it. It took me 2 years. For 6 months, I could hardly walk to the store. I was going like half an hour, those 200 meters I was going, like something that takes you 1-2 minutes. Usually I was going like 25 minutes with my friend, first of all, and it was a long process and it took me a year. I was going for different rehabilitation process. It was always the same. Stretching, doing whatever in my back, got more fear of getting irritation and the back got worse. So any place you touch me, it was just getting worse because it's all in the head. It always will be. The physical will be always effect. So it took me 2 years to get to the point when the pain was less in the body, and I will write it in the book, and I will make more videos about how to heal yourself, the general recipe, how to diminish the trauma, get rid of the pain, focus on something else. Even the pain can be excruciating at the point, or sometimes for years. You wake up with it, you go to bed with it, you cannot lay down, you cannot sit, you cannot sleep sometimes, and you have to learn how to change the focus. It's the only way to change the focus to some Caribbean island, something else, some better time in the future, because nothing lasts forever. No disease, no life lasts, no happiness, no marriage lasts forever. You either way die or you change or something. People don't want to get it, but that's the way it is. So the general recipe was to change the focus, understand it's a mental, and then let go in the body. And when it got from my mind to my heart, after many months of a training, then through the weeks, days, months, it just went away. And then I could start walk, I could start to run again. I thought I will never be running again. So it was like, I say, like from almost a wheelchair, because I couldn't walk for a while. I got to running again and doing exercising, going to the gym. For many months I thought, I don't know if I ever play volleyball again. I don't know if I ever run. If the only thought that you have is like, if I can run again, I will run every day 6 a.m. So it's like you won't run. When you're getting blind, you won't see the colors, and then you see how precious it is. And there's a recipe for every disease, like I told you before. It's just whenever it's physical or non-physical, it's always at the same recipe. And the recipe will go with simple conclusion, how the Buddha, how the Jesus, how the other people saw it. Now I sound like a commercial, because at some point I will be showing this recipe, how you can cure your acne and your bladder and stomach problems and your migraines and your back pain, and it's all the same recipe, and it's very connected to the recipe how you get money, how you get success, how you get soulmate. It's very similar process. It's not really the same, but at some point it is the same. So it's very funny. It's about focus, it's about intention, it's about understanding where is this effect coming from, what caused it, not non-physical stuff caused it. And you see always effect, and you focus on effect, which is physical, or it could be non-physical. And when you have depression, it's non-physical, then you cure non-physical with non-physical. But very often non-physical, even non-physical effect as a depression, they cure with physical, with pills, which is craziness. It's like you would try to catch air with a net, non-physical, which is still physical, the air, but you don't catch it with a net, It's like, but that's what we are trying to do. And I don't know if you want to know anything else about my story with the back pain, because there's much more. I could speak an hour, but
yeah, but how? I mean, you understand it like from the beginning that it was like that, like it was psychologically like
something told me in my mind, don't go to operate, sit and meditate from the first days. Yes. And
but when did you actually start feeling that it was going away only by your inner power or something? Like, how long did it take to really start feeling that you were getting better? Like,
that's a good technical question. Well, in my case, I was not conscious of physical laws of the universe and how you are a god and affirmations and everything, the subconscious conscious structure works. I wasn't aware of that. I was learning that. So there's the difference. Knowing and experiencing is a big difference. So it took me year 2. After a year, I was starting that it's getting better, but so slowly that if you ask me, I would have said like, I still don't run, I still have pain. It didn't get much better, you know? But after 2 years, it started to disappearing completely, and then you saw it. But that's because the level of trauma of mine as a pyramid of bad decisions, bad thoughts, and not knowing how it all works was a pyramid that I have to one by one level deconstruct in my mind and my subconscious mind. And subconscious mind learn by repeating and listening all the crap the same. That's why the Goebbels and other great marketing guys, starting from Nazis, finishing from to US leaders and others, they will tell you like so much stuff they will repeat all the time till you believe it. Like that there's a fear, you are getting attacked, and we have to retaliate. And at the beginning you're like, who's attacking me? It's all nice here, it's grass, it's nice. But if they repeat that 1,000 times, and even though we sit in this great environment on the grass in Krakow and most beautiful cities in Europe and Poland, and everything's beautiful, and you have money and time, and they will keep repeating that there's a terrorism and a fear, and we have to retaliate, we have to attack. You will say at some point, yeah, they're right. Let's send the military and kill people in the country I never been to. And then it makes sense. So subconscious mind works the same with good and bad stuff. If you follow the fear and the life is so that you have to push it and everything, and you learn subconscious mind to think that, she will think that and she will give it to you. But if you learn that, if you deconstruct those ideas like in pyramid one by one, that life is great, that it's easy, that people help you, that there is no fear, that there's nothing to worry, that it all flow, that there's give love, you're gonna receive more, give money, you're gonna receive more, help people, they will help you, then it's like, so I'm just saying the conclusion is, it took a lot of time. If I wouldn't be in trauma, like right now, if I get sick, it takes me sometimes 24 hours, 72 hours to get rid of it, a week. It depends what it happens. And before, it was just going for months, like some coughing for a month, for 3 months, in Poland especially, you know, or some infection, and go for a month, you take antibiotic, and doesn't work sometimes. If the trauma and the psychological level is strong, the antibiotics will not help. It had happened to me with a few inflammation. I was like in pain, and I was like, okay, the last resort, antibiotics. I took it and it doesn't work. And then what? You know? You go like to the doctor and say like, it hurts my stomach or my bladder or my lungs, and now what? Cut it off because antibiotic didn't work? No, you have to find the other. Then is the time that I really learn without antibiotics, with the pain, deconstruct the structure in my mind of the pain, put the focus somewhere else, body heal itself. When you put the focus somewhere else and you leave the problems behind, it could be work, it could be your couple, it could be love, it could be money, something you imagine cause you problems, emotional issues, change the focus to beautiful island of Caribe or something else, or love, or your beautiful sisters, brothers, or your dog. It's gonna be good. But you need very often disease to change the focus, because if there's no disease, you keep focusing in the wrong side of life, on the problems, it's stressing you, and life wanna keep you alive. That's why it brings disease, to keep you alive, that you can leave the trauma behind. So it's like this, it doesn't keep you disease to finish you up and get you sick and you die. It gives you disease to release you from trauma, from drama, from the things that really kills you. Because when you stress, your heart, your adrenaline, your cortisol is all pumping in the bloods, and it gets vicious, and then the heart will not make it after a few years, and it just stops. But with a harder disease or first heart attack, you can rethink all of that, and you can understand, okay, peaceful is quiet. It's so easy when you let go the money and issues and process and your parejas, your couples, and your father's issues and everything in your life, and it just, there's a tree, it's air, it's still fresh air. You don't have to wear a mask here like in some places, so it's pretty perfect, you know. It's just like, and then disease shows you like you come down to 3 levels, and then after a week or two you get alive again and come back to your things. which very often means come back to your issues again. And then you start gathering your issues, and then you get sick again. So sometimes it's a